Okay, so this is 960, and we have this T-beam here, and we're looking to find Y bar, which is the centroid from the base where this x-axis is placed here. So that's what we're trying to find. And we'll use composite shapes to solve this problem. So I've already broken this into two shapes, 1 and 2 here. And the equation, remember, for composite shapes is y bar equals the summation of y tilde times a. So that is the kind of centroid of each one of these shapes times the area of that single shape, and we take the sum of those divided by the sum of all the areas. So we would sum up both those areas. All right, so I think the easiest way to go about this is to make a table. So we're gonna see if I can draw a table here. Okay, and here is going to be our areas. And since these are all in millimeters, the areas start to get really big. So I'm going to put this in 10 to the third millimeters squared. That's going to be our units here in the area column. We have y tilde here, and that's just going to be in millimeters. And then we're going to multiply these two columns together and get y tilde times a. And I'm going to put this in 10 to the 6 millimeters cubed. Okay, so those are the units for each of these columns. And then we have our shape 1 and our shape 2. Okay, so the area of 1, that's this shape here, we have 120 times 240, and that comes out to be 28.8 times 10 to the third millimeters squared. Y tilde, that's the distance of this shape, the center of this shape, this direction. So we have 240 as the total length, so that's going to be half of that. So we have 120. And then we multiply these two together, and then we get 3.456 10 to the 6 millimeters cubed. All right, moving on to the second shape, this shape up here. The length of that is 240 plus 120 plus 240, that's 600 times 120, 600 times 120, and that comes out to 72 times 10 to the third millimeters squared. Our y bar here is from the base, so we need to make sure we have y bar from the base here. So that's 240 plus half of 120. That's 240 plus 60. That should be 300. And then multiplying these two together, we have 21.6 here. All right, so we have all the shapes combined. And now, let's put another line across here. We need the sum of the areas for the bottom. So this will be the sum of the areas, these two added together. And that equals 100.8. And then we need the sum of y bar times a. So that's the sum of these columns. And that is 25.056. And remember the units on these millimeters, 6, that's 10 to the third millimeters squared. And this one is 10 to the 6th millimeters cubed. Okay, so we just perform our equation here, and we have 25.056 is 10 to the 6th divided by 100.8 times 10 to the third. And then we get our answer, which comes out to 249 millimeters. And that is our answer. And let's double check and make sure that makes sense in our drawing. So we came out with 249. That means the centroid here is actually somewhere about right here, which makes sense. Okay, so that's problem 960.